friends, welcome to In Divine Timing. I'm Z. This is where we get real about healing, alignment, and uniting with soul self. So if you are ready to level up, then you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Thanks for joining. I hope that everybody's doing so great today. In my last episode, guys, I was talking about how change was bullying me into submission. So this episode, I decided to go over 5 things that I do when change comes in to bully me into my becoming. You know, it's real interesting to me how I am the kind of person that really loves to grow. All the while, I also face a lot of adversity internally when I'm going through change. So there's a lot of self-discovery that's happening over here. First thing that I love to do when it comes to change, bullying me into surrender and submission, is to stop and get still. I like to take time to regulate my nervous system before I take any action. And I've been saying this for a very long time. Like before I got all of my certifications, before I got into the spiritual aspect of things, I would always say I don't like to make decisions when I'm feeling any sort of extreme happiness, extreme anger, extreme sadness. I just want to be neutral and level-headed, so I'm clear and balanced before I make a decision. And I feel like this is so important because you honestly can just make stupid ass decisions if you're too excited, if you're too angry, if you're too sad, you know. Understanding what safety and peace looks like and feels like in the body will create peace and safety in whatever decision it is that you decide to make after you've regulated your nervous system when change comes. I like to slow down, get present, ask myself, what is it that I'm feeling right now? Where in my body am I feeling right now? Where in my body am I feeling what right now? And what is this emotion, this thing that I'm feeling, trying to teach me? Asking these kind of questions are important because you want to create your story from a place of choice rather than survival. So next time you feel like change is coming in and bullying you into submission, stop, get still, take some time to regulate, take some time to feel into your body, understand why it is that you're feeling what you're feeling before you move forward and make a decision, or even before you move forward and name it to be something that it might not be. When I get hungry, things are different after I eat, and I'm sure that you can relate with that. The second thing that I love to do when change comes in and bullies me into surrender is to take a step back and to remember where I'm going and why the fuck I'm doing what I'm doing. A lot of the time, anxiety, fear, frustration, imposter syndrome, sadness, all of those things can make us feel like we're not good enough or like we're not capable. And something that I've personally come to learn and that has brought me a lot of peace throughout my journey is understanding that what I'm doing is for God, is for the collective, is for the universe, because we are all the same. So when I personally am going through change and, you know, it's bullying me and pushing me around and I have all of these limiting feelings that are coming up in my mind, I really like to take a step back and remember, why is it that I'm doing what I'm doing? It's not for attention. It's not for money. It's not for the views. It's not for anything other than for God. For God to be able to experience her best experience through me. and through all of us. And I feel like God has given me this beautiful gift to be able to create and connect and inspire and teach and speak and move and do all of these awesome fucking things. And so I love to use these tools that I've acquired over my time to help other people, other souls, experience themselves in the most elevated experience that they could have. So don't let the moment of change or frustration or anxiety or the moment of depression make you forget why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And if you don't really know what it is that you're doing, or why it is that you're doing rather, then I recommend that you do some inner work, because when you build this deep and sacred connection with yourself, it gives you the opportunity to fully experience yourself. And this is where you're going to truly find love and joy and happiness. And if you are looking for some support with that, join the Elevated and Sacred Embodiment Collective. This is my private community where I help people unite with themselves so we can all unite together. Change can feel pretty chaotic when it is that you lose your long-term orientation. So when you take a step back and remember why you're doing what you're doing, it gives context to the discomfort that you might be feeling in that moment. Number 3, the third thing that I love to do when change is pulling me into submission, I like to take my power back. I like to reframe the disruption into something more of a curriculum. What is it that I am learning from this experience? If this change was here to teach me how to grow, to teach me how to expand, to teach me how to mature, what is it that it would be saying? If this change was unable to speak, but only able to get the message through action and experience, what is it trying to tell me? And this takes you out of the immediate experience and into a third-party experience where you then become the observer. When you become the observer, you don't take things so personally, and it gives you the opportunity to expand and grow. This moves you from victim consciousness into student consciousness, and then the growth becomes intentional instead of accidental. So the power is in your hands. The fourth thing that I love to do when change comes to bully me into surrender and submission is to choose who it is that I am becoming. What identity do I want to move forward with? Who am I being in this experience? In this moment, who is it that I'm going to choose to be? Am I going to be a victim to my circumstances? My hand didn't even want to open up to that if you're watching the video. Or do I want to be the hero of my story? Do I want to be main character mode? I want to be main character mode. I want to be boss bitch mode, okay? I don't want to be the version of myself that contracts, that caves in, that crumbles, that shrinks. I want to be the version of myself that is courageous, that lives embodied in trust and truth and integrity and expansion. When you decide to take the moment to make this decision, to choose who it is that you want to be when change is coming, you're not just changing your habits, you're changing your identity. When you decide who you are going to be in change, your actions naturally follow. And honestly, when you choose the higher, the dopamine rush is really nice. The fifth thing, and I feel like this is so fucking key. I was gonna say such, but it turned into so. The fifth thing that I love to do when change comes to bully me into submission and surrender is to take one small step. Confirmation barks, one small step of aligned action to move the energy and to anchor in the identity that I am choosing to be, step into, embody. The clarity that you are looking for when you feel disrupted by change it comes from movement, not overthinking. And you can think while you move. It's the movement that's giving you the clarity, because the movement allows you to intermingle with the energy of who it is that you're becoming. So you can see what it is that aligns and what it is that doesn't align. But if you don't take action and you just think and think and think and think, you're never going to allow yourself to experience this new version of yourself. So ask yourself, what is one small, loving, aligned action that I can take today that is supporting the version of myself that I'm becoming? This is super important because change stagnates when energy is trapped in fear loops, okay? But action grounds insight into reality, even if it's just one tiny step. And honestly, it's the small steps that matter. It's the small steps that make the big steps. Think about a baby, okay? You don't pop out the pussy taking big ass steps. You know, first you gotta learn how to crawl, and then you gotta learn how to do your little walk, and then eventually you learn how to run, and the steps get bigger, and then you get bigger. Friends, if this video resonated with you and you are in a season of change right now, and you don't just want mindset shifts, but you want embodied tools to help you move through this change, the Frequency Shift Manual is designed to support you in these exact moments. When change comes to bully you into submission and surrender, it is really asking you to be more than you were. It's asking you to expand into your soul's truth. If you want to take it a step further and you're ready for community, if you're ready to take responsibility over your embodied level up, join the Elevated and Sacred Embodiment Collective. This is my private community where we do the inner work to align and unite with our soul's truth and our soul family. If you love this episode and you would like to stay connected with me, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, all under the handle @untethered.living. Until the next episode, my friends, thank you so much for being here with me. And remember to trust your path, trust your timing. I will see you in the next episode. I love you so much.